for the top news across the campus of Marshall University. In the W. Page Pitt School of Journalism and Mass Communications, JMC-TV presents MU Report.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for this third edition of MU Report Fall 2023. I'm Joe DiCristofaro.
And I'm Morgan Pemberton. MU Report is a student-produced newscast of the W. Page Pitt School of Journalism and Mass Communications at Marshall University. And we create content within an organization called JMC-TV. You can catch this broadcast anytime on YouTube. First up, the campus calendar.
The International Festival is coming up at Marshall. This year, it is Saturday, October 28th, starting at 4 p.m. in the Student Center. It's a great way to learn about other cultures without actually having to buy a plane ticket. And best of all, it's free.
And it's not too early to be thinking about winter graduation. A countdown to commencement is set for Tuesday and Wednesday, October 24th and 25th, also in the Student Center. If you're planning on walking in December, the countdown is the place to be to better understand your responsibilities for the big day.
The Marshall freshman class numbers are officially up for the first time in years, and administrators say it's because of the expansion of what's called the metro rate. As Emma Johnson explains, that means the price of tuition has actually dropped a bit for more students who live farther away from Huntington.
Class changes at Marshall this fall include a few more freshmen than years past, and Marshall says that's because the metro area expanded, making tuition more affordable for some students.
I think that the metro area expansion is good for campus because it's brought in a lot of new students that may have not considered Marshall previously.
I think that expanding the metro area is a good idea because it gives more students the opportunity to come to Marshall at a discounted rate kind of.
However, despite this price cut in tuition for some students, others think more can be done.
But on the flip side of that, I think that because of the influx of students, they need to decrease the cost of in-state tuition.
But also, I think that you're going to kind of have the same issue as where you still have kids on the edge of the border where they're like, okay, well, you expanded it then, why can't you expand it for me?
Although some students are saying more can be done, Marshall is calling the metro rate expansion a win for student admissions. Emma Johnson, MU Report.
This time of year, midterms can be a stressful time for students, and many of my fellow students are finding creative ways to relieve that stress.
With midterms, students are struggling to find ways to handle the stress while studying for tests and doing assignments.
Midterms in college can be very stressful, so it's hard to deal with the stress sometimes.
Breaking up my study time and studying with friends really helps.
It does a lot. Because we're both in elementary ed, and we have to read 20 books, and we're reading 6 at a time, and then taking notes and switching, so that helps a lot.
It makes things a lot easier.
And faster too,
yeah.
So.
Students are choosing to take a step back from technology to walk through campus and take in nature.
Whenever I'm stressed, I like to just take a walk around campus, feel the nice weather, and watch the campus squirrels.
Students dealing with stress with midterms upon us, it's important to take time for themselves. Morgan Pemberton, MU Report.
As Brea Smith reports, in a digital age where connectivity is important, students on the Marshall campus often find themselves dealing with Wi-Fi issues on an almost daily basis.
Many students on campus have been experiencing issues with the Wi-Fi, which in turn is making it hard for them to access online materials.
Sometimes where I'm in my dorm, usually around I want to say 6, 7, just usual time, afternoon, doing my homework, and there's just always it never connects to anything I need, and especially when I have homework due and assignments due, it gets hard to do it.
The tech wizards at Marshall University's IT department gave us information on how the campus Wi-Fi network works.
So all internet is supplied by an internet service provider. Comes into the building into what we call switches. It's just a bunch of Ethernet jacks. From there, it runs to access points. People also call them routers. And then from those access points, that puts off your Wi-Fi signal.
I mean, from a student perspective, I also work here. It is, frustrating to experience the issues that are going on with it, especially if you're on a Windows computer. Sometimes you're sitting there for 5 minutes trying to connect to the Wi-Fi. That can be frustrating and annoying, to say the least, about that, honestly.
It's hard to learn when there are campus-wide Wi-Fi issues, but just remember, the IT department is always ready to help when the time comes. Brea Smith, MU Report.
That's all the time we have for this edition of MU Report. Our director is Emma Gallus, and our executive producer is Dr. Christopher Swindell. our instructor. Our newscast content is generated by us students in the W. Page Pitt School of Journalism and Mass Communications. MU Report is a television lab, and we're glad you're watching. You can always catch this newscast on YouTube. I'm Joseph DiCristofaro.
And I'm Morgan Pemberton. Have a great day.